Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and of course internationally on Motors TV. Welcome along, everybody, on this Thursday evening to Lime Rock Park here in the United States. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm joined by Adam Bath and iRacing World Championship driver and top 5 in the Indy 500, Alex Simpson. Well done, mate, for the weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a good run. So thoroughly enjoyed from the way right at the back all the way towards the front. A few more laps and you never know where we could have had.
Adam, your oval exploits haven't been quite as frequent as Alex's recently, but having said that, Lime Rock Park, that's about as close to an oval as we can get in the BSRTC.
Yeah, I think so, except there's only one left-hander.
Apart from, of course, the ovals that we've been to. So I've cocked that one up straight away.
As close as an oval as we're going to get on the road courses, I think you could probably say. But yeah, and it's also a track that I think almost every single driver on the grid has actually raced at. They all have to drive the Mazda MX-5, of course, when they start on the iRacing service, which we'll probably get into detail later. But yeah, so everyone should have experience of racing on the circuit, and therefore they'll have no problems learning the track. And yeah, Lime Rock Park over the last few seasons has provided a lot of great racing. So 4 more races, championships pretty close as well. So great evening in prospect.
Whose idea was this for me to do the intros? Oh, I know, Adam.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was. It's good to be back anyway, everybody. Alex, Lime Rock Park, it's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be close, and it could get quite physical out there as well.
I have no doubts it will do. Such a great circuit to race on. Everybody knows this very, very well. Everybody started here, rookie days, Solstice or MX-5, depends on how long you've been around for. We all know the track well. We all know the lines, like you say, the one left-hand corner to deal with in the circuit. And it's quite a quick track. We're going around here in sort of 50 seconds. Sutton's done it in so far, so extremely quick. Not a lot of room to overtake. That is why it's going to be very physical. I think going down into turn 1, there'll be a lot of we say push to path going on.
Yes, indeed. And Adam, the drivers have very much been pushing in qualifying. We see at the moment, Ashley Sutton is right ahead of the queue, despite the fact that Stallion Chepelevsky was actually fastest in the practice session.
Well, yes, Sutton's provisional pole position time, 50.9. Stallion Chepelevsky did a 50.9, 1,000th of a second slower than Sutton's pole position time at the moment, so that's how close it is. Some big crashes we've had here in the past as well. This track's pretty narrow, and of course we're not using any of the chicanes at on this layout. So we're going to be going through that right-hander over the top of the hill. Could have a few quarter panels like we saw a few seasons ago. Looking at the championship though, Chepelevsky is still leading it. 27 points ahead of his Alphalatech teammate Michael Shellback. Wojciech Savidovic in third, just a few points behind the Alphalatech driver. Simon Field fourth, Richard Gore fifth. Alex Smolensky in sixth, where he had that collision with his teammate Kip Stevens a few seasons ago. Ben Hackerson seventh, Paul Smith eighth, Dan Hunt ninth, joint ninth with Dan Kraft in the Friction Racing car, and in 11th it is Pete Newman. Looking at the team's Pro-Am Championship, Paul Smith leads Roy Ververke, 177 point lead there for Paul, who had a crash in qualifying just a few moments into the session, which I'm sure he'll be devastated with and will be starting towards the back. Roy Ververke in second, Jay Wright third, Nick McCarron fourth, Laura Bonds fifth after a good race meeting-ish at Virginia, Matt Bunn in sixth, Scott Malcolm 7th, Craig Evans 8th, Liam Atkins 9th, and Andrew Whitehead in 10th. And then Alphalatech lead the team standings, 205 points ahead of Apex Racing, Simpson Racing 3rd, Friction Racing 4th, Race Over CQR in 5th, Sim Racer 6th, CQR Academy leading the Pro-Am teams in 7th, 8th for Collecting Motorsport, Engine All Direct 9th, Team Auto Mech 10th, Spicer Heart 11th, Eurochip Digital, of course, no longer running in the championship in 12th, and Mainland Racing in 13th.
Seen a few guys, Alex, trying extra hard on that final corner, going quite wide and probably ruining their qualifying laps, so they'll be a bit annoyed about that. But it is hard to overtake on this Lime Rock Park circuit, and as you said, the people with the back of the grid penalties and people who crashed in qualifying, they're going to have a major task on their hands, aren't they?
Yeah, I think really they're just going to have to slowly work their way up over the course of the night, and maybe it might take them till the third race until they get into a position where the reverse grid gives them a boost forward. I think the priority really for these drivers is going to be all about finishing here and clocking up points for bringing it across that checker flag every time if they start towards the back and like I say, hope for like a full reverse grid or something like that.
And cars heading down to the grid. We'll quickly run you through the grid. Ash Sutton then on pole position. Michael Schellbach second. David Baker third. Great final lap by Baker to get third on the grid. Fourth for Savidovic. Stelian Chepelevsky, championship leader. Fifth. Julian Janovsky sixth. Jamie Rushworth seventh. Eighth. George Simmons ninth. Jamie Fluke. Dan Kraft in 10th. Michael Hall starting 11th. Jack McIntyre 12th. Colin Cunniff will be 13th. Nathan Davis 14th. Pete Newman 15th. Richard Gore will be starting in 16th. Nathaniel Simpson 17th. Simon Field 18th. Roy Ververke 19th. 20th it is Russell Laidler. Ben Hackerson 21st, 22nd Mark Johnston, 23rd is Laura Bond, 24th Andrew Whitehead, 25th Liam Atkins, Kip Stevens 26th, 27th Rob Graham, 28th is Peter Van Gaal, Jay Wright 29th, 30th Nick McCarran, 31st is Lorne Murray, 32nd Steve Richardson, 33rd is Steve Hefford, Jerome Kaiser 34th, 35th Cesare Rizzo, Stuart Atkinson will start 36th, 37th Lee Berridge, and the cars that didn't set a time in qualifying. Alex Smolensky 38th, Ross Balfour 39th, Dan Hunt 40th, Paul Smith 41st, Matt Bunn 42nd, Scott Malcolm 43rd, Craig Evans 44th, and Rick Scott 45th.
Yep. There's several Scottish drivers at the back actually, which I don't know. Don't think that's I think that's just a coincidence. Hopefully. So Ash Sutton lines up at the front then, and I wonder what he can do from pole position. He'll need to get a good start, and he'll need to maintain it a little bit better than he did at Virginia last week. Of course, he had a brake problem. He ended up going into the scenery, so we'll see whether the ETCC driver can keep it on the island for this one. So Sutton and Shellback on the front row. In a moment, the revs are going to build, and 44 Kia Optimas are going to burst into life. Revs are rising here, and the green light is on at Line Rock Park. The good start from Sutton. Shellback slotting in behind. Sutton weaving around. Remember the first corner, there's going to be cold tyres and there's going to be some cold brakes as well. Heading through there. Everybody behaving themselves somewhat. Can't see any cars off at the moment. And it looks like everybody else has survived that. 3 cars with pit lane starts. Smolensky, Malcolm and McLeod Evans. And they make their way now towards the hill, up and over the hill, and those guys, Adam, they're going to be almost a lap down by the time they get out of the pit lane there.
Yeah, such a short lap here, just under a minute. That's why we've got 17 laps of racing here in the first one, and they're going to have to be getting away rather sharpish to make sure they stay on the lead lap. Everyone just line astern then, coming round to complete lap 1 already. But now the slipstream's going to get underway, of course. Stelian Chepelevsky under pressure from Jamie Rushworth as we come across the line to put lap 1 in the books. Rushworth looking to the inside. Oh, Chepelevsky just shutting the door. No way through there.
Yeah, Stelian Chepelevsky leading the championship, coming under a little bit of pressure but surviving there for the time being. Alex, have you noticed anything further down the field at this time?
No, everything looked good from the start. Everybody's line of fire at the moment. No real issues, no one going off or anything. Just a few little good battles out there right now. So yeah, perfect start to this race meeting.
Yeah, race 1, mate, is going to be I think it's going to be a little bit follow the leader, if I'm honest. It's going to go by qualifying pace, as it usually does on race 1 of 4. Maybe small gains are going to be the way forward here.
I really think that's what it is. We were talking, just before the start of the race about how drivers are going to have to work their way up, and it is going to be very, very tough. And it's only going to be a few places, I think. Even with those reverse grids, it's going to take a while for the guys to work their way forward here. Just such a well-known circuit.
Matthew Bunn trying to make a move, Adam, on Stuart Atkinson, but he can't quite get down the inside. The Eclectic Motorsport car got a good run out of the final corner, and now, even though Bunn is quite a bit quicker, it appears, there's just very little space to pass, isn't there? It's very narrow here.
Yeah, very narrow, and I think this is similar to sort of Brands Hatch, where we're going to see moves really being done through a bit of a bump and run style move.
Here's Ross Balfour, Adam.
Oh yeah, looking down the inside.
Down the hill, towards the crest of the hill. Oh, and there's another car getting involved in the mix as well. Is that your own Kaiser?
Yes, it is. Kaiser trying to get involved, and Lee Beveridge was just trying to be careful, because if you do run out wide round the outside of that right-hander, there is a tendency you could end up understeering into that big tyre wall and ricocheting back onto the track. And now Balfour's under pressure from Kaiser, and look at everyone else arriving onto the scene as they come across the line to put lap 3 in the books here. Kaiser's going to go to the outside into the first corner. Round the outside he's going to go.
Oh, look at that. That's cracking driving from Kaiser. That's a beautiful move from the Dutchman if he can pull it off round the outside. Does he have the momentum? Does Balfour just gives him absolutely no room? And to be honest, you know, it's a fair move in the end. It's a little bit forceful, but it was definitely well judged. And Kaiser, a great overtaking attempt, Adam, just couldn't quite complete.
Yeah, good to take advantage of that in the first race, of course, because the marbles will be building up around that outside of turn 1 throughout the evening. And yeah, he was able to try and get it done there, just not close enough. I think you've really got to be a bit more alongside to get a move like that done. But yeah, good driving by Kaiser in these early stages.
Shellback closing in. Alex is really trying to monster the back of that Kia Optima of Ashley Sutton now. The race hub with CQR driver coming under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Ashley jumped away at the start of the race, and I thought he was going to be clear pretty quickly, but yeah, it just looks like the Alfa Tech car just took a little bit longer just to get the pressures all sorted out and settled down. But yeah, now that Shellback's up to speed, he's looking very good, and he's not going to give up on chance for a victory.
Dutton was a bit wide. I think he twitched coming over the top of the hill. The back end can get quite light here at Lime Rock Park, especially over these elevation changes. And Adam, do you see maybe this is a more measured effort from Ashley Sutton, as we saw a couple of weeks ago at Virginia?
I think so. However, Sutton, of course, as races in the BTCC, of course, and he knows how to measure the pace. Savinovic looking at David Baker going into turn 1. No way through there. As we saw with Kaiser a lap ago, it's pretty hard to get a move done there unless you're fully alongside. Shellback, of course, won the Kia Cup Series race last night and won it quite commandingly from, I think, his Alfa Tech teammate in Stalin Chapelevsky. So Alfa Tech now to get it done around here. They obviously have been putting the miles in as has everyone else. And Shellback obviously sticking it to Sutton and has been quicker by a tenth or two the last few laps. Definitely not allowing Sutton to get away. Brilliant battle on our hands. When we get to line, there'll be 11 laps to go.
There's a rather large gaggle, Alex, for 10th place on back, with George Simmons heading that queue. Michael Hall is there, Jack McIntyre, then it's Cunniff, Newman, Davis, Hackison, Simpson, Laidler, Field and Gore, and Mark Johnston, all within just a fraction of each other, really.
Yeah, and problem for Kip Stevens there as well. I'm not sure quite what's going on with Kip. He's dropping down the order right now.
Oh, he's off.
He's around.
Actually.
He's off. At the corner where him and his teammate, Smolensky, had issues a few seasons ago.
Oh, he's been hit by an Automech car. Stevens was trying to go to the inside, and actually he's turned across the Automech car there and ended up in the fence, so not a good start for Kip Stevens.
Contact with Rob Graham there in that Automech car.
I don't think there's anything Graham could really do about that, to be fair.
I think you're right as well, and he's just had to sit there as Kip and waited, doing a three-point turn in the middle of a race. No, not what you want.
Nope. Roy Viverke up into 22nd place. Of course, he's contending for the Kia Club Series Championship on Sunday as well.
Final round of that championship, of course, out onto the front straight, just in front of them. Hackison
and that's going to be live here on Apex Racing TV as well. Mr. Adam Bath's going to be in the box.
Yeah, alongside Paul Smith, who hasn't had a good evening so far. Hackison up the inside of Newman. Whoa, and Newman's able to sweep around the outside. He's not afraid there. Pete Newman in that Simpson racing car. And now Russell Laidler's going to try and join in the action as we head into that only left-hander on the circuit.
Yeah, Laidler very close to the back of the Eclectic Motorsport car of Hackison. Alfa Tech looking strong again. They've got a good setup on that Kia Optima. And Rusty Laidler is looking to try to get the best out of that setup as they head over the hill. But again, you just got, even to get an overlap, Adam, some of these fast corners in the final sector, you're not going to make a move on the inside really there, are you? The other car's just going to be able to carry so much more speed. Yeah,
I think really the main aim is to try and hang back through this section if you can, and try and get a run off this final corner and into turn 1, which Hackison's doing now.
Yeah, here comes Hackison on the inside of Newman. Going to be late on the brakes.
Just watching a battle, going on between Jamie Fluke and Janowski as well. I think Janowski's just passed Fluke there, just got a better run, or possibly a failed attempt as an overtake from Fluke. I'm not entirely sure. They were side by side as they came onto the straight. So
and Hackison and Newman have been side by side for about the last 3 or 4 corners.
Not giving up, is he?
And now, well, Newman's overtake has now turned into losing a place to. No, I'm not sure who that is. Who's that in the Alpha Tech car? Oh, sorry, that is Laidler, yes. And Laidler now gets to attack Hackerson.
Yeah, so it looked like it was a bit of a problem staying on the inside, because obviously you're not going to have the best speed through that uphill right-hander, and that's what's happened to Newman, and he's lost out position there.
3 Simpson Racing cars in that group. Formerly Pete Newman Media, of course. Down the inside goes Laidler. Is Hackerson going to give him the room? He does. Oh, off goes Simon Field. Well off the track, actually. Off it. Where's he going? That's a long way off over there, isn't it?
There's a wall somewhere around there, an invisible one. Be careful.
Oh, is there? Oh,
yeah,
dear.
if you go a little bit too wide, you'll hit it. Yeah.
And he'll probably get a slowdown as well now for his trouble. Yeah, that's. Oh, it's lost him a heck of a lot of places. It's come out actually behind Ross Balfour. Yeah, Ross Balfour running in 26th.
I dare say he's probably got some damage there, because he's not making any attempts to get back on the circuit at all.
Fluke and Janowski then going at it, 8th versus 7th.
Yeah, he's actually crawling alongside the track. Sorry, Adam.
Yes, fine. Oh, and Fluke's still going for it. Janowski gives him the space. Good to see Janowski up here with Alpha Tech, and down the inside goes Fluke on the only left-hander on the circuit. That is a good move there, and now Janowski better watch out, because here comes Dan Kraft as we head towards the right-hander, the uphill right-hander, of course. Very hard to have side-by-side racing through there, of course, without any sort of contact coming about.
Yeah, there was a tiny bit of contact between Janowski and Fluke, but nothing really that's going to affect either man's race. But now Janowski needs to look forward and not back at the car of Daniel Kraft, the Simpson racing car, sorry, the Friction racing car. Apologies, looks quite similar.
Andrew, talking of looking
Simpson
forward,
racing.
Shellback is looking forward right now around the outside of Ash Sutton into turn 1. Will he stick this? We just saw the same move with Jamie Fluke.
He's trying to use,
getting squeezed.
He was trying to use the camber there, and that new piece of tarmac to slingshot past Ashley Sutton, but just didn't have the momentum, didn't have the space, and the German has to sit behind the British driver for now.
Yeah, sensibly Sutton just sort of edged him out a little bit further wider, so he couldn't quite get the drive off of the corner that he wanted, and held on to that place. So yeah, our resident British touring car driver, pretty savvy behind the wheel, no doubt.
It was good driving from both of them, wasn't it, Adam? Really.
Great driving there, yeah, around the outside, and wasn't able to work it. Shellback's got a good run, or good-ish run, but I think he's lost a bit of the toe there off the final corner. There's a Simpson Racing car coming back onto the track, which I think is Simon Field. Sutton goes wide into turn 1, and Shellback might be up the inside. No, he's not.
He's okay, I think.
Sutton's just okay.
Yeah,
lap 13 to 17.
He just managed to pull that down to the apex, didn't he, in time. Yeah, Sutton, it's not the normal race we see from Ashley, is it, in this championship, really? He normally charges forward, and here he's started on pole, is on pole, he's coming under pressure. He's not the fastest driver out there, at least at the moment. Michael Shellback is having a look. He's just trying to unsettle Sutton, but I'm sure that his touring car experiences this season are just helping with that. Sort of Alex, the dealing with pressure aspect, which I know you cover a lot in, say, the Apex Academy.
Yeah, I think.
Goodness me!
Just looking at that again, it looks Svidovic this time trying to go around the outside of Baker. So that it was going to be tough, and these guys are struggling out there, but they want to get it on. And Chepalevsky's caught up to the back of Svidovic here, and Rushworth is coming along with him. So we're going to have a 6-car fight for the front, I think, any moment.
Yep. Is that a major factor that you take into account, though? Say that when you've got someone behind you, that they've been able to block it out and deal with your own race, essentially.
Ash is pretty used to it now. He won't think too much about it. You tend to know as a driver, where you're vulnerable. We've done a bit of testing with your teammates and things like that, and you can tell from your run off the corner whether or not you're going to have to go defensive or not.
Which Baker has done straight away. No messing about, no half measures there, and Svidovic actually missed a little bit of contact there, and now up the inside goes Stelian Chepalevsky. I'll have a free place, he says.
Yeah, he saw that one, did Stelian, just forming up. Baker stayed tight all the way, and Svidovic tried to squeeze him a little bit, and unfortunately 2 into 1 didn't go, but that Alpha Tech car just nipped in there right at the moment.
Am I right, Adam, there, that possibly Wojciech missed a trick because he'd squeezed Baker all the way over to the inside? Could have maybe swept out to the outside at the last moment, trying to give himself a wider line.
Yeah, because he knew that Baker was obviously going to be late on the brakes and would have tried to get that early apex, but obviously it didn't work out there, and he sustained a bit of contact. When we get to line, there's going to be 2 laps to go. Shellback puts the 2 wheels just onto that bit of dirt on the outside of the final corner. Shouldn't ruin his straight line speed too much. However, these two are now starting to separate themselves, and
Here comes Svidovic
up the inside of Chepelevsky, and Chepelevsky's going to have to look back there.
This is first versus third in the championship, of course, Adam. Only 31 points between them, and of course the man who's in second place overall is just in front of them, Michael Shellback. He's in second place and chasing down Ashley Sutton, and he's only got 2 laps to go in order to try and get past, and it could well be a win for Race Up with CQR, but we will see. We may have a Marquez Lorenzo finish on our hands, Adam.
Could very well do. This circuit does have the tendency to bring up close finishes, but it's all about that run out the final corner. Good run through that right-hander, yeah. And now we're going to start the final lap.
If Shellback can stay within touching distance, he's going to be able to
Paul
use
Smith.
the slipstream. As there's a car off to the side, I think that's Richard Gore.
It's a CQR, Paul Smith, yeah.
Sorry, yep.
Last lap then. Svidovic also at the inside of Chepelevsky. No way through there. Jamie Rushworth keeping a watchful eye on that battle as well, but Shellback, he's running out of ideas. He needs to either get it up the inside into the right-hander up the hill, or try and get some sort of run out of that final corner to try and set him up on the way to the line.
Remember, this is race 1 of 4. Sorry, Andrew, yes, I don't even want to go. Stick with it. Back over to you guys, though.
Over the hill for the last time then. It was Ashley Sutton and Shellback's car was all over the place. I saw it just buck onto 2 wheels momentarily. Wide they go, using all the extra grass on the outside of the curb, but round the final corner they come, and it will be Ashley Sutton who will take round 40 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship at Lime Rock Park. Good work, Adam. Yeah,
good drive by Sutton, and he came under some pressure, but obviously overtaking at Lime Rock Park is so difficult, and he was able to make sure that he drove through the mirrors and made sure that Shellback couldn't get through. And
it's still coming.
Yeah. There's a lot of little battles out there right now. I think Nick McCarron and Ross Balfour, they're side by side going across the line. I think Balfour might get this.
Bunn trying to get past.
Doesn't. McCarron gets it.
Bunn trying to get past McCarron across the line. Graham comes ahead of Bunn.
Van Gool, Smolensky, Rizzo, they're quite close together. Field is just behind. I'm not sure who that is. I think it might be. I think it's Rick Scott. Good battles there. Good battles going on. And we only had, I think it was 2 retirements, Paul Smith and Kip Stevens. So out of 45 drivers, Alex, we had a very good attrition rate there.
Yeah, brilliant. That's what you like to see.
I
say everybody loves a little bit of Lime Rock, really. Everybody knows it so well, so kind of expected that. As I was sort of saying on the last lap, remember this is only race 1 of 4. We've got a reverse grid coming up. We roll we spin the wheel to figure out who that's going to be, and then the admins quickly put the next session. So don't go anywhere. But if you enjoyed that race, we've got 3 more. Way more exciting, I think, with the reverse grid. They always are a little bit more thrilling to watch.
Yeah, 42 cars as well. It could be reversed.
Yeah, that's if we get the full reverse grid. Of course, we've got a couple of segments on there which can trigger the full reverse grid. All point scoring drivers will then be switched around. Adam, your favourite start, of course. We usually reserve this for the later rounds, but everybody who started in the top 10 finished in the top 10, so there you go.
I was about to mention that. Yes, they did. And George Simmons just wanted to upset the trend. He was started 8th and finished 10th, so lost 2 positions there. But apart from that, it was pretty much a line astern. Apart from Svidovic, of course, he made that bit of contacts and lost a position there, of course. So
the good thing for us was that there was a fair bit of movement within that top 10 as well. Yeah. So it was not a dull race by any imagination. The funny thing as well is behind them, Michael Hall started 11th, finished 11th. Jack McIntyre started 12th, finished 12th. And Cunniff and Davis started 13th and 14th and finished 13th and 14th. And they were all pretty much glued to each other. So it is hard to pass here. But we'll see. Adam, if you could take us through who's going to be eligible for the reverse grid, and we'll see who the Wheel of Fortune might favour tonight.
Okay then, shall we run you through the results as well quickly, or should we just go straight to the reverse grid or not?
Yeah, why not do the results soon?
Yeah, okay, Sutton. Yes, Sutton takes the victory then. Another victory. He took a win, of course, at Virginia last week, I think, and yeah, and has taken a victory in race 1 here. So he did that by just under half a second. Shellback second, David Baker third. Good to see Baker on the podium. Stelian Chepelevsky finished 4th, Savidovic 5th, 6th for Jamie Rushworth, Jamie Fluke 7th, Julian Janowski finished in 8th, Dan Craft 9th, George Simmons 10th, 11th Michael Hall, 12th Jack McIntyre, 13th Colin Cunniff, 14th Nathan Davis, 15th Russell Laidler, 16th Nathaniel Simpson, 17th in the end was Pete Newman, 18th Ben Hackerson, 19th Mark Johnston, Richard Gort rounding out the top 20. 21st was Roy Ververke, Laura Bond finished 22nd, Andrew Whitehead 23rd, Liam Atkins 24th, 25th was Jerome Kaiser, who we saw battling brilliantly, went from 34th to 25th. Nick McCarron finished in 26th, 27th Ross Balfour, 28th Dan Hunt, 29th Steve Hefford, Lee Berridge 30th, 31st Jay Wright, 32nd was Rob Graham, 33rd Matt Bunn, 34th Lon Murray, 35th Peter Van Gaal, 36th was Alex Malensky, 37th Cesaro Rizzo, 38th Steve Richardson, 39th Scott Malcolm, Rick Scott 40th, 41st Stuart Atkinson, Craig McCard Evans 42nd, 1 lap down, and if we get a full he will be on pole. 43rd Paul Smith, 44th 2 laps down also Simon Field, and Kip Stevens was 12 laps down in 45th. So the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid for the second race of the evening, round 41 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship are as follows. Nathaniel Simpson, Pete Newman, Ben Hackerson, Mark Johnston, Richard Gore, Roy Ververke, Laura Bond, Andrew Whitehead, Liam Atkins, Jerome Kaiser, and Craig Evans. So those are the cars that are eligible. Alex, who's going to be on pole?
The wheel up then for the first time tonight. See who it's going to be. Right, what do we reckon?
I think a big one.
I don't think we're going to get one. Or maybe. Oh, just about rolls over to 24th there as well. So yeah, 24 reverse grid. That's almost as large as we can get without going for the full.
The Liam Atkins is on pole. Jerome Kaiser will be a bit sad after that comeback through the field, but he's going to be missing out. Yeah, so Liam Atkins on pole, Andrew Whitehead second, Laura Bond will start third, Roy Ververke fourth, and Richard Gore in fifth.
All right. Well, that's all for the first race of the evening from Lime Rock Park. We have 3 more to come, so don't go anywhere. This is the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Stick with us.
I'm Eric Hudek. I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, And as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live and Motors TV for round 41 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship from Lime Rock Park Circuit in the United States. Hello everybody, again Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath, an iRacing World Championship driver and Blancpain Endurance Series driver, Alex Simpson as well. And Adam, I'll bring you in first this time. Race 1 was pretty close. It was quite polite really by BSRTC standards. We've got a 24 car reverse grid. I'm not too sure it's going to continue like that.
No, and I think as Stuart Atkinson, goes for a ride on the tyre barrier.
That's the overcast conditions for you as well.
Yeah, that's what you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, this is the overcast condition race, the second race of the day, and tyre temperature will be cold, especially the fact that because we've only got one left-hander as Sutton goes into the pits at a speed definitely higher than the pit lane speed limit. But yeah, we've got 24 cars reversed, a whole load of action ahead, and the drivers will definitely be getting more forceful in this second race. I can almost guarantee it, especially from the stuff we're seeing in this warm-up session. So a lot of action ahead and a lot of excitement as well.
Yeah, the warm-up looks...
Can I just say, Andrew, you've definitely just give Lee second soundbite for you as well there in that little moment.
Yeah.
One I'm sure will be collected and replayed back and inserted in on the Motors TV footage somewhere.
Don't need to find one for you.
Well,
yeah, they've got one for me.
There will be one. Come on, Lee, you need to get it sorted out, mate. You need to hook us up with an Alex Simpson soundbite. I want it as my text message ringtone. Yes. Alex, I was going to ask you a serious question now, and you've just ruined it.
That's what I like to do.
I was going to say that the grip's going to be there because the track's colder, and these guys are going to have a lot of fun because there's a lot of fast corners on this track.
That's it. Hopefully it will aid a little bit in the overtaking. Maybe they can just close up a little bit coming out that final corner because there's, like you say, that just extra bit of bite. It's going to take a lap and a half or so though, just to to get the tyre pressures up on the rear specifically. So yeah, overcast conditions, 26 degrees air temperature. So actually the it's quite hot out there, but yeah, there's no cloud cover, so the track temperature is quite down.
Yep. 26 degrees for both. Fairly windy as well. That shouldn't really affect the Kia Optima too much. Adam, 24 cars reversed, but as it is with the BSRTC in 2016, the middle of the field isn't particularly slow at all, so it's not going to be easy for the so-called faster drivers to get through there.
No, the middle of the field isn't good. Is very, very close. And of course, we've got the race 1 winners, the guys that were at the front involved in that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they can work their way through the field because it was very tough for the guys in race 1 to do so. So that means they're definitely going to be looking back in the mirrors, making sure that there aren't any unexpected lunges from anyone. We'll quickly running through the top 10 because I don't think we've got much time. Atkins on the pole, Whitehead 2nd, Laura Bond 3rd, Roy Ververke 4th, Richard Gore 5th, Mark Johnston 6th, Ben Hackerson 7th. Pete Newman will be starting 8th, Nathaniel Simpson 9th, Russell Laidler 10th, Davis 11th, Cunniff 12th, McIntyre 13th, 14th Hall, 15th Simmons, 16th Kraft, 17th Janowski, 18th Fluke, 19th Rushworth, and 20th is Wojciech Savidovic.
Yep. And then just behind them, Chepelewski, Baker, Shellback, Dutton and Kaiser. That's your top 25 as the revs rise again at Lime Rock Park. We now have the green flag for the second time tonight, and Liam Atkins gets away well from pole position. Laura Bond making an excellent start as well. She's ahead of Whitehead. Whitehead's had an awful start. He's bogged down quite badly, and he's lost a couple of positions as the driver's now going to have to wrestle with even colder tyres than they were in race 1, Alex.
Yeah, they look okay though. I'm looking
sorry,
pretty tight, but I think everybody's okay.
McCarran's
Car
off.
on the grass on the inside there. A couple of
McCarran.
people wide, someone around.
Oh, they're going to go 3 wide here. There's going to be a problem, is there? No, between Bunn and, goodness me, Matt Bunn. And it was 54 of Lee Berridge, and that was all pretty tight in there. Oh, off, big crash at the back. Well, I say a big crash, car in the fence. It was Stuart Atkinson, so a big crash in practice. Now a big crash in the race, Adam.
Yeah, not good at all. He's limping back. Nick McCarran's just gone past him, completing the first lap. Then it is Liam Atkins leading Laura Bond. coming under pressure from the Automech car into turn 1, and Richard Gore trying to get in the action as well. Whitehead's recovered from his tardy start, has maintained 5th place ahead of his teammate Hackerson 6th. Great start for Ben Hackerson.
Sideways
what's happening?
Gore, sorry, Richard Gore, massively sideways.
Oh no!
Through turn 2, what's going on?
Cunniff, and he's off and takes off a
there goes
Spicer Hart car.
McIntyre.
And McIntyre definitely goes.
He's history.
And he's off to the Indy 500 probably. He's gone in.
That's
he's
where
that
he
far
might
wide.
come. If he's lucky, he might come down there. Oh, contact at the hill between Rushworth and Cheppy. Yes, it was. Sent Cheppy sideways, and now it's a bit of a cluster in the middle. And I don't mean a good kind of cluster. Stan Chepalewski, Ashley Sutton there. A lot of the fast drivers in the middle of this pack. Michael Hall is coming under some pressure from Julian Janowski, but he survives that. Into turn 1 goes Wojciech Savinovic, now just behind that. He's side by side with Rushworth. And you've got Balfour just behind them, who've just got past, well, almost cleared the 39 car of Michael Shellback.
Savinovic up the inside of Rushworth then. Rushworth good round the outside, and is he going to be clear? Yes, he is. Before we get down to the right-hander, and now Savinovic coming under pressure from Sutton, round the outside at the top of the hill, and they just give each other enough space. Savinovic is wobbling all over the place, and somehow they don't hit each other. It possibly might have been the smallest bit of contact, and now Savinovic is having to hold off Stalin Chepalewski as we now go through the final corner to start lap 4, and there's a car off in front of them. It's a collecting motorsport car. It's Simmons.
Yeah, Josh Simmons off, but it's not going to really lose him, I don't think, too much. Yeah, in fact, I don't think he's lost a place tonight. He lost about half a second, though. He can easily get that back. As Daniel Kraft now pursuing Nathan Davies and Nathaniel Simpson. Davies running well in 10th. Liam Atkins is leading still from pole position ahead of Laura Bond, about half a second behind. And then it's Roy Viveke, Richard Gore, then a bit of a gap to Andrew, so Ben Hackerson, and then Newman and Whitehead. Whitehead's poor start turned into a reasonably average first couple of laps as well, unfortunately for him, Adam.
Yeah, not too good. He nearly had to lose a position there to Laidler, and I was scared there was going to be contact through one of the fastest parts of the track.
Kraft through on Davies. Adam.
Oh, and here comes Simmons on Davis as well.
Simmons down the inside, Davies squeezing up to the inside. That was the right thing to do. Oh no, he's hit Daniel Kraft, and there was absolutely nothing that Daniel Kraft could do there.
And now Simmons is trying to get past Hall.
Bit of a misjudgment from Simmons.
Yeah, sorry, that was pretty amateurish from Simmons there. Far too focused on what Nathan was doing rather than
wide there. Sorry.
You're right.
You're right. No, you're right. Though he should have been looking. You've got to, even if you're being overtaken or in a battle, there you've got to look in front and see. You've got to judge the distance better than that, I think.
Yeah,
big one.
Savinovic and Shellback.
Shellback, sorry.
Oh, sorry, it's
everybody checking up as well.
Number 23, yeah.
23, Janowski.
Sorry, I thought it was Shellback. Oh, be careful everyone coming around.
I think Shellback did get some damage there.
Oh no, there's another crash. There's a secondary one at the bottom of the hill, Andrew. Dan Hunt's around, Rob Graham's around.
Second to last corner, there's almost a crash as well. It's all going off with just a whole gaggle of cars, a real
gaggle there.
It's almost a carambolage there at the last corner, but we managed to avoid it, and yeah, they all survived somehow. I'm not sure, but there were a couple of cars, Adam, that went off the track at the side. There was a CQR car, may have even been Smith.
Balfour lost it on his own. He must have had some sort of damage from the earlier incident, and he's hit the grass on the outside coming into the final corner, and then spun across in front of the Automech car ahead of him, and that collected a couple of others as well. So
nowhere to go in that final corner, of course.
Atkins still leading, and he did go a little bit wide in the final corner, didn't allow Laura Bond to get too close. Roy Viveke is watching with a good brief with these two in front. Richard Gore just behind. So Gore, who did start off in the AM category and somewhat controversially moved up to the Pro category, but still, I believe is he still yet to win a race, Adam, in this series?
I think he might have won one, but I think possibly last season.
It is something we will have to check later on for you. But Pete Newman in 5th place, then Ben Hackerson in 6th, Laidler in 7th, ahead of Andrew Whitehead now. And Nathaniel Simpson 9th, Nathan Davies in 10th, and then Simmons survived. And poor old Daniel Kraft, well, he lost about 10 places.
Yeah, not good for. It's not being good for Friction Racing. Of course, they had Balfour out in that crash.
Sorry, every time, I don't mean to interrupt, every time I scroll down the field, I see something very, very close and very, very almost violent there. You've got Peter Van Gool, Paul Smith, a couple of others in front. I think that's Rizzo and Berridge. And then just behind them, you've got Smolensky, Field, Hunt, Baker, Smith. Load of race winners, Alex, in a big train there. Oh, and off goes a yellow car. Who was that?
Lee Berridge.
Oh,
Looking at Field and Hunt as well. They're having a good little battle side by side, approaching the uphill right-hander.
Baker's wanting to get involved in that, Alex, as well.
Yeah, Field was a little bit compromised on entry. Let's give Baker the opportunity to get alongside
there
on Hunt as well.
A little bit of netcode between Baker and Daniel Hunt. Sorry. And then it's, look at this, Van Gool and Rizzo as well, getting close together.
Simmons, Rushworth and Hall as well, side by side. They've pretty much wow. Sorry, just seeing how that one plays out as well there. It's Rushworth gets the lead going through the right hand. Simmons trying to fight back here as well, but yeah, they've survived. I thought for a moment we might have a crash.
On the grass. Sorry, Alex. Sutton's on the grass trying to pass Nathan Davies. He's on the grass on the inside now, and he's back on the grass on the outside now.
Wow, bit of track extending there. Is Rushworth going to get a run on his teammate? Will he just sort of settle back in? He does indeed.
I wonder if Peter Solberg's watching Adam. He might want to hire him for next season.
Oh yeah, and
and there's contact between Davies and
Whitehead.
Whitehead, yes. Sorry, I've been away for quite a few weeks.
Oh, and there's payback.
Yeah, a bit of payback, and Sutton's got to be careful he doesn't get involved in this as well, because those guys
move by Simmons.
Yeah, it was a great move and a good move by Sutton as well. And these guys, it's very close together. It's very hairy. Alex, I'm not sure I'd like to be in the middle of all this, if I'm honest.
Now Rushworth trying to work his way through as well. Got a few other guys trying to do that, but you're right. This is definitely where all the trouble is right now.
Laura Bond's making a move for the lead here.
Yeah, to take a win, of course, up the inside on lap 11 of 17.
Atkins has gone wide.
Himself.
He's going to keep it on the course. Liam Atkins, he can. Does he have
look at the run he's going to get
on the Spice Hand car? No, he doesn't. So Laura Bond into the lead here on lap 11. And
great move from Laura.
I'm not going to say anything. For fear of cursing some people, I'm not going to say a single word until possibly the last lap.
Let's try and take our mind off it and focus on this battle then between Sutton and Davis.
Atkins was looking like, sorry Adam, it did look like he was struggling in the fast corners somewhat, and I think Laura's taken advantage of that.
Looked like it, yeah, and the pressure down the front straight led to that small lock-up into the first corner, but Atkins isn't giving up. He's got a fantastic run through that final corner. We'll give him a slipstream. We're starting lap 12 now of 17. Atkins is going to try and go around the outside into the first corner. Is he going to get his braking right this time? He does, and he's going to use that camber on the outside, is he?
Bond's car twitching around underneath her as she brakes into turn 1, hard on the brakes in this front-wheel drive Kia Optima, and now it's a defensive job, but she was quicker than Atkins at the start of the race.
Just needs to get into a rhythm right now. It's really easy when you're chasing someone down, all of a sudden you're looking in your mirrors, checking, make sure he's not trying to put a move on you and things like that. Just needs to settle back down. Everything at the moment just seems to be about compromising the line. So needs a good couple of corners here. Get a good exit off of this straight. Get clear so she can go into that turn 1 on the racing line rather than defensive one. She might just be able to build a little bit of a breathing space.
Sometimes, Alex, even if you are the faster car, you can get drawn in, can't you, to the cars behind, just by, like I say, you can't just re-establish what made you so fast in the first place and what made you take the lead in the first place.
That was better though. She didn't have to go defensive at all through turn 1 and turn 2. So Atkins is still right there though. Used the slipstream well coming off that final corner, and Roy Ververke closing right in. Richard Gore, Pete Newman. We know how quick all of those guys are. So it's not over and done with yet at all.
that does also allow Roy Ververke to close in, and also Richard Gore. He might have a shot of Ververke here, Adam. If he can get a good run off the final corner, might be able to slipstream the Belgian down into turn 1.
Yeah, and of course, podium credits on the line here. Richard
Yes.
Gore might have a good opportunity to get that near the showdown. In fact, I think he is in the showdown, of course, at the moment. But here comes Atkins off the final corner to start lap 14. Didn't get a good run that time, actually. Laura Bonds pulled out a car length or two, and now Ververke is going to have to try and make the move. Yeah, Atkins covers it.
Oh, Atkins late on the brakes. Did he slightly miss that? No, it was all right, actually. He just braked. He took a nice angle into the corner there, and it didn't allow Roy Ververke to have a sniff. Ververke now having to defend hard from Gore, and that's allowing Pete Newman, who's also a race winner in this series, and Ben Hackerson to just join the party. And just behind them, it's Laidler, and then it's a couple of seconds to Simpson and Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton's getting closer and closer. In that shot where we head down towards the uphill right-hander, he's getting closer and closer. Now, here we go then, the two penultimate corners, these two right-handers, which lead us back onto the front straight to start lap 15. 3 laps to go when we get to the line. Atkins versus Bond at it
Good
again.
run from Liam there.
And
it's so bumpy
here
in that
comes
last
Bond,
corner as well. You can see, Alex, the suspension just taking a lot of punishment.
He's trying to go around the outside once again. Again, that corner very, very bumpy. Ververke trying to see if he can just slot his car up the inside there as
It's
well.
also
Mistake from Atkinson. Oh, from
it's
Atkins.
It's
I
becoming
just
more
thought-
difficult as well, that outside move, Alex, because of what Adam said earlier about the marbles.
Yeah, absolutely. And they will build, and it looks like there's a little bit of something going on a bit further behind as well. It's really just Liam, if he wants this win back,
Oh,
he's
he goes.
got to get a
Very
good
close.
run off of that final corner. It's just so short there. A little bit longer run, and he would have been able to step up the inside there, but just 2 laps to go when they cross the line. Let's have a look at
It's
this
one
one.
lap to-
Oh, Laura's car
it's-
very
yeah.
unsettled. She's going to have to go defensive early. She doesn't.
Here comes Liam Atkins, then he started on pole. This could be the move that gives him the victory here in race 2 of the evening at Lime Rock Park. He goes through. Can he hold it on the inside?
No.
No, he can't. And Laura Bond's back down the inside again. And Liam Atkins fighting for his life.
no.
He's off, Ververke is off. And Richard
Saved
Gore
it.
is off as well.
And that's Pete Newman saying thank you very much. I'm
Oh,
now
yes.
into the podium.
Newman
And so
will
for
love that.
Hackerson, and so also is Laidler.
The former showdown contender, Pete Newman, who once raced from a hospital bed to get his points on the board, he'll be getting a podium on the board here at this rate, and he may well yet win this race, Alex, because who knows what can happen between these two on the final lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Laura's definitely got to get this move done. Come on, want to see this. Want to see this happen.
It could be
has
Liam
looked very
Atkins'
strong
first win
since
as
the
well.
Overtake, though.
It could be Liam Atkins' first win in the series as well, so we may have a new winner, whoever. And in fact, Roy Ververke as well would have been up there, but unfortunately he's come a cropper on that lap, down to 10th place now. But it's more than that, isn't it?
It's going to be difficult now for Laura
18th.
Bond. I think it's going to have to be a mistake. And yeah, poor Roy Ververke. He will be in contention for the reverse grid for the 3rd race of the evening, so it's not all over for him. At the moment, I think Liam Atkins has just got enough in check at the moment. 2.5 attempts, he was clear at the line. It's going to have to be a mistake.
Atkins did get in front, I believe, by the start-finish line on that last lap. So here we go, 2 corners to go for Liam Atkins. Can he maintain it over the Spicer Hart car of Laura Bond? Both drivers looking for their first ever win in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Can Atkins hold it? Can Bond get it? Are we going to get a photo finish on the line? No, we're not. It's going to be Liam Atkins that takes the win in race 2 of the evening here at Lime Rock Park. And that, my friends, was a beauty. What a race that was.
Brilliant to watch. And Richard Gore lost a position there on the final lap to Ash Sutton, who came through to get 6th from 24th, of course, taking that race 1 win. Great comeback through the field there. And a few big names getting involved in crashes. Wojciech Savidovic won. And a finish that kept us guessing right until the very end. And that little bit of contact there between Richard Gore and Roy Ververke in the end. Great race.
Yeah, what a great battle it was at the front. And Alex, Liam Atkins showed a heck of a lot of fighting spirit, because a lot of people would have put their heads down once they'd lost the lead there.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't. Yeah, he didn't do that. He just collected himself, made sure that he didn't lose a place to Ververke. There was a couple of laps he was under a little bit of pressure there as well. And yeah, in the end, just got himself back into his rhythm and started focusing more on that car ahead of him. And yeah, got a great couple of runs on Laura. And that final one was just yeah. perfect, really. It just opened it up for the overtake so perfectly, and retake the lead, and he didn't make a mistake in those final 2 laps, and that was all important.
Liam
I believe
Atkins,
that-
29th in the standings and 9th in the Pro-Ams Championship, so I'm sure this win is going to do his championship in the Pro-Am Championship a world of good.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been waiting for this all season. Liam Atkins is a strong driver. Raced against him a few times, and I think he was due a good result, and he's definitely picked up with the best possible result there, with obviously winning from pole position as well. So a truly great day for him. And you know what? It's a very, very good race from Laura Bond as well for second place. That's the best result she's had for quite a long time. And Pete Newman in third as well. She will be disappointed, Laura, with not winning the race. But having said that, couldn't have really done given much of a better effort than that, Alex.
No, I mean, I do believe that's the best so far result for her as well. So she'll still be happy with that,
Could
no
well be.
doubt. And getting closer, and we just want to see her win one. I think that's the thing. It's been how many seasons now? 10, 11 seasons.
Yes,
So we want to see her
11,
win one.
But you know what? This field's getting tougher, and Laura's maintaining her position, and definitely, she's going to be fighting up there. I think, especially for the AM category, which and that Adam will do a heck of a world of good as well in the AM standings.
Yeah, Laura Bond sitting 5th in the Pro-Am Championship, just under
Nick
100
McCarran.
points behind McCarran, who was out in that one, wasn't he?
30th he was,
30th.
so he'll get some points, but not a great deal. So Laura will get a lot closer there. But Jay Wright 17th, good result from him. That was a cracking result from Jay Wright, 31st to 17th. I think that went a bit unnoticed on our side, Alex.
Yeah, definitely.
By
One of the
heart.
best races Jay Wright's done, I think.
People saying it's hard to overtake here in chat and things like that, but there you go.
And-
All the way up to 17th from way back there.
I know there was a lot of chaos as
Impressive.
well, but I've got to give a shout out to Craig McLeod-Evans as well. 42nd on the grid, 23rd in the race, and he's put himself right there in reverse grid contention. And so, are we still down to 26?
It's 25,
25.
16 to 25.
16 to 25,
Two-
and then
two.
2 full.
and then 2 falls.
Dave Baker's not going to be particularly happy with that one, I think, in the end.
You had to hope for one of the falls, I think, and even then, we will have how many cars will we have reverse for a full? We would have 35. So he would be
Robert Grail.
still 9th on the grid. But yeah, finishing results then. Liam Atkins' first win in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Did it by a 10th over Laura Bond. Pete Newman finished in 3rd. Good podium credit for him. Ben Hackerson 4th. Great evening so far for him. Russell Laidler 5th. Ash Sutton 6th. 7th for Richard Gore. 8th Nathaniel Simpson. 9th Jamie Rushworth. Continuing race hubs. Good form in recent races. Nathan Davis in 10th. Andrew Whitehead 11th after not recovering from that poor start. George Simmons 12th. 13th Stelian Chapelevsky. 14th Michael Hall. Jamie Fluke finished in 15th, Michael Schellbach 16th, Jay Wright 17th, Roy Ververke 18th after running in the podium positions for so long during that race. Dan Craft 19th, Matt Bunn rounding out the top 20. Steve Hefford finished 21st, Dan Hunt 22nd, Craig Evans 23rd from 42nd, as Andrew was saying, 24th Peter Van Gool, Simon Field 25th from 44th, another good fight through the field there and by field. And that'll put him in good contention for the reverse grid.
And he was in the field in race 1, going off onto the side of the track. So yeah, he's fighting hard for the championship, and we'll see if he can carry on. Sorry, apologies.
26th, David Baker. 27th, Kip Stevens. 28th, Paul Smith. 43rd, and Stevens 45th as well. So those are still good performances by those guys. Scott Malcolm 29th, 30th Nick McCarran, Alex Malensky 31st, 32nd Steve Richardson, 33rd Cesaro Rizzo, Lee Berridge 34th. The last car in contention for the reverse grid, we get a full in 35th Rob Graham, 6 laps down Ross Balfour, that crash in the final corner. 37th Rick Scott, also 8 laps down. Stuart Atkinson 11 laps down. Julian Janowski involved in that crash with Savidovic and Kaiser. They're all 13 laps down. 15 laps down was Mark Johnston, and then 16 laps down, most likely involved in carnage at the start. Colin Cunniff, Jack McIntyre, who definitely went for a ride.
Is he back down yet?
And
I don't know.
and Lon Murray also 16 laps down in 45th. Well then, time for the reverse grid. 16 down to 25. Let's have a look at the contenders, and they are Shellback, Wright, Viverke, Kraft, Bunn, Hefford, Hunt, Evans, Van Gool, Field, and Rob Graham for Automech. So for the second time tonight, to set the grid for race 3, over to Alex with the Wheel of Fortune.
Go then. 4th last time. Where's it going to end up? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, we've got it again. They're coming free, and yeah, they're flowing now. So another full.
Rob Graham onto pole position, 35 cars reversed. Lee Beveridge second, Cesaro Rizzo third, Steve Richardson fourth, and Alex Smolenski in fifth.
This should be fun.
Very. I'm excited now.
It should indeed be fun. Tell you what, Paul Smith will be happy about that because he's going to start in about 8th place, I think, after having a appalling qualifying. I've been punted off in qualifying, and then yeah, the first race didn't go too well, but race 2 was decent for him, so that's going to be quite good there. Oh, tell you what, Alex, that's going to be a heck of a long way for Liam, Laura, Pete, Ben, and Rusty to come through.
Yep, absolutely.
Laura's going to be thinking, why did they have to finish second in that race?
Yeah. Oh,
Liam, that's poor Liam. I mean, oh dear. Well, he's got the win under his belt. He won't care. He'll see this is a challenge.
Nothing will dampen his spirits, I tell you, after that. So.
I do have to say before we go, we do have 2 more races left, so don't go anywhere. Don't you dare. However, 19 cars finished within 10.9 seconds of the leader, and also down to 32nd was only 29.4 seconds over 17 laps. And think about the field spread and the action going on and everything. Adam, it's truly such a great championship. It's probably the closest championship on iRacing.
Yeah, and probably the best private league and one of the best competitions on the whole service. We'll mention
in the world of sim race.
In the world of sim racing, really. Yeah, and of course on Motors TV Tuesday nights, highlights of this championship. Can't remember what round it is on Tuesday, but this one, of course, will be on Motors TV in highlight form in a few weeks. Can see all the action on there.
It was just the Phoenix Oval round, I believe, this week or last week, so it'll be around there. Might be North.
It was Nordschleife on Tuesday.
Ah, okay, yep. So you're just seeing the Kia Optima drive. It's cause it's the World Touring cars are going there again, aren't they?
This weekend, yeah.
This weekend, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, and also speaking of fun, we've got 2 rounds left, so we're going to see. We've got the full reverse grid. So if you don't want to stick around for that, well, I'll be honest, you're an idiot. Come back, see the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship in just a few minutes. Don't be a lemon. It's round 43 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, coming to you on iRacing Live, Apex Racing TV, and internationally on Motors TV. Welcome along, everybody. Welcome back. Hello, if you're just joining us. We're here at Lime Rock Park in the United States. We've got one round to go. The reverse grid's in effect. It's 18 cars reversed. And you're joined here by Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath, and Alex Simpson for this final race of the evening. Alex, I'll bring you in, mate. We've had a really good night's racing, actually. Very, very good quality of action, really, all the way through the field tonight.
Yeah, the drivers might not be appreciating the track a little bit out there, struggling to overtake, but it's been great for us. We've thoroughly enjoyed every single race so far, and I think this fourth one's going to be a cracker as well.
Been fairly clean, Adam, up to a point. Any concerns all hell might break loose here?
I don't think so. However, they always like to prove us wrong in the BSR TC in every single way, so who knows what could happen. Quickly, is there enough time? We'll do top five. Laidler, Wright, Newman, Stevens, and Hall. The top five. Chepelevsky, Shellback, Bunn, Smith, and Rizzo. That's the top 10.
Well done. As the revs build and the red lights are on. And for the final time tonight, the green light is on. It's a good start from Laidler. It's another good start as well from Pete Newman. He's going to try and go down the inside of Jay Wright. That didn't work. A couple of cars wide. I'm just seeing if there's any problems back there. A couple of cars sideways. Looks like we've got away with it. Yeah, we've got away with it in the first corner. But it does bottle up a little bit here, Adam, through turns 2 and 3. Oh.
Yeah, Hall's been hit, and he's been put in the right direction just by an Alfa Latex car. That was almost close to disaster. Into the right-hander. It's Laidler that leads them through. Over the top of the hill we go then. This is where we saw trouble in race 3. And everyone just going
some
through.
Contact, but I think it's just mild panel bashing.
Yeah, I can't see anything on the timing screen. Everything looks good. Oh, Scott Malcolm is around though. Scott Malcolm out. 45th place into the pits already for him. So, yeah, unfortunate for him.
Here comes
7th in race 3, and he came a cropper quite early on. And yeah, once again for him.
Wright had a little look down the inside into turn 1, but couldn't find a way through. It's okay because he's still got 16 more opportunities to do so. And it's Pete Newman 3rd, Stevens 4th, Chepelevsky 5th, Shellback 6th, Sutton 7th, 8th Rushworth, 9th Hall, and Paul Smith rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Wright's had a great meeting, Alex. He'll love it. He'll love nothing more than to cap it with a victory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He did a great drive. Wasn't the last race, or was it the race before
2.
that? Yeah, just absolutely amazing drive. So, yeah, a nice victory to go on top of that would be great. But I mean, Laidler's no slouch. He's not going to have it his own way, I tell you. But
well, he's won races before in this.
He looks good though. He looks like he's putting Laidler under a lot of pressure already, even in these early laps.
It's impressive from Jay Wright, Adam, at least so far. I hope I don't curse him again, but you know, Jay's always been one of those guys who's just been sort of middling around the lower to midfield in the BSR TC, and this is a very, very strong drive. He's got top 10 pace tonight.
Well, it's showing the potential of the drivers that Engine All Direct have. Of course, a Pro-Am team, up-and-coming drivers, some of them, and they've got that experience in Kaiser, of course. But Jay Wright definitely showing his pace tonight. Had that great race in race 2, and now running it at the front in race 3. We've got
sorry,
I
just got to point this out. Sutton was side by side with, I think that was Shellback in the 39 car, and he very nearly got run off into the tyre barrier. He had to slow down quite substantially, and that allowed Jamie Rushworth to sneak through up into P7.
I just finished your point. Yeah, Jay Wright fighting in amongst guys who are vastly experienced in this championship in Pete Newman and Russell Laidler, of course.
Yeah, and it's great that he's been able to mix it here. And me and Alex, you know, we've seen many drivers over the years in different series start off and near the middle, near the back, they come through to the front, and it's a great thing to see, Alex, on a regular basis.
I love seeing that, you know, to see the progression of a driver. You know, we do what we do over at the the Apex Academy. Plug. Sorry, but
plug.
You know, we enjoy exactly that. Seeing drivers sit there and 30th, 40th place and see them start to compete in and around that top 10 area is such a great feeling for commentators to sort of witness progression like that.
It gives you such a boost as well. I mean, I know from my experiences this season in the Kia that you put that extra effort in, you get slightly better, you get more experience, has laid the goes a little bit wide, it's not really going to hurt him. He's going to get a good exit as Jay Wright's car just bounces all over the place. But you get that experience, you get that confidence, and Adam, he starts to breed. It's an exponential effect. It starts to breed better results and better performances.
Yeah, especially when you're performing. I mean, of course, on iRacing, with people run out your ability, and you start to get to the front in whatever car you're in, and then you get to move into that next split, and who knows where you could go from there. And of course, we see the likes of youngsters like Sebastian Job, our BSR TC champion last season, working wonders in the World Championship Grand Prix Series, and in the BSR TC last season. Across the line we go then onto lap 6. Laidler having to do a bit of defensive driving from Jay Wright. So is Pete Newman on Kip Stevens, who's doing well in 4th.
Yeah, Kip Stevens has had a pretty shocking meeting by his standards, and by anybody's standards really, and up there in 4th. Alex, I've just got a question for you, mate. You're the setup guru, obviously doing a lot of live streams on iRacing Live to do with the setup of the MP430. Slightly different beast, of course, the Kia Optima, and I know you're not that familiar with it, but a question that I was thinking about earlier on, would anybody have gone for an asymmetric setup here, given the fact that it's almost exclusively right-hand corners?
From my remembrance of the setup when we tried to do it at the ovals, I tried to help out there. I don't think you can go for asymmetrical apart from say like ride heights and things.
Sorry, that's contact between Wright and Newman. Newman's dropped down a couple of places. Sorry, Alex.
So but where it would be important are things like sort of like the cambers and things like that. I'm not sure they could quite could do that, and toe-ins and things like that. So
Newman losing more positions, and here come the race-up cars.
He's getting beaten from pillar to post, and he's got a queue of race-up cars. Rushworth, Sutton, Baker and Hall, they're all out for blood. And in fact, Paul Smith and Matthew Bunn. So that's all CQR, isn't it?
It is. It's the CQR. The charge of the CQR brigade, I think.
They're all after poor old Pete Newman.
Into the Valley of Death Road, Pete Newman.
Alex, that's this could be pack hunting in its finest, couldn't it?
Yeah,
if they've got themselves halfway organised, they'll do quite well here, I think.
Yeah, another one gone by Pete as well, trying to right now. You can just see that in the shot. So, but they're all really trying to get to Shellback if they can.
Baker in the 3 car.
Taylor's using this opportunity to break away just a little bit from Jay Wright. Stevens now in 3rd.
Sorry, Adam. Rush was getting very close to Shellback, and I think Alex's prophecy is going to come true there. I think they're going to start attacking the German driver in the Alfa Tech car very shortly.
Nepolevsky trying to pressure Stevens as well. So one's doing the attacking in the Alfa Tech car, and the other one's having to do the defensive work, holding off that army of CQR cars off to the final corner, and Stevens puts 2 wheels into the grass, and now here comes Chepolevsky down the inside into the first corner. He might even have an opportunity to get past Wright, possibly into turn 1. No, he can't, but he's up the inside of Stevens, and Shellback might try and follow him through.
Stevens didn't realise the second car was there and very nearly caused a big pile-up.
And here comes Sutton up the inside of his teammate Rushworth. And is he through? Rushworth might try and get the position back. No, he's not. He's clear.
He is through. He's Sutton. Rushworth's got a nice run off the corner, but don't think he's going to threaten the former Renault Clio UK Cup champion.
Over the top of the hill, here comes Chepolevsky to get past Jay Wright for second. Second to last corner. That's not normally an overtaking spot. Round the outside goes Wright. He's still in it. And they're going to be 2x2 into the final corner. When we get to the line, we'll sign lap 10.
Could we say he went right round the outside?
He went right around the outside indeed. Yeah, see we go.
But he's not going to make it, I don't think.
Oh no, free wide.
Look at that train of cars. And what's Jay Wright going to do? I'd just get out of it if I was honest. I'm not having that with all these guys coming through. Goodness me. Just let him get on with it.
Somebody's
off.
And he's on again.
Oh, he's back on. Give Jay Wright the fright of his life on that occasion. Wright's trying to the inside line.
Into the right-hander goes Wright, and he can't get it through.
The right-hander, of course, and he's just about in front of Stevens. Can he keep it into the hill section? Yes, he can. Up and over the crest.
So it's an Alfa Tech 1-2. 1-2-3.
2-3.
3, and all this CQR Battling as well going on. Paul Smith, Matthew Bunn nose to tail, as well as Rusty Laidler leads by 2.5 seconds from Stelian Chepelevsky. Then it's Michael Shellback, Jay Wright, Ashley Sutton, Jamie Rushworth, Kip Stevens, Pete Newman and David Baker. So we've got
Baker and Newman as well. Oh, there's contact ahead.
Jay Wright has been hit by Stevens. Stevens right into the back of Wright there. Oh no, more contact.
Right into the back of him, was it?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Overhead. Oh, the inside goes.
I just can't help
Baker.
it sometimes. As Baker, yes, going through in the 3 cars, trying to go through on Newman. He can't do it just yet. Baker's had a really nice meeting, as has Newman. They don't want to throw it away now. Michael Hall just behind them. He's closing in on that battle between Baker and Newman. And we'll see if Michael Hall can get somewhat closer to that scrap there. Paul Smith has now got to fend off his teammate Matthew Bunn for CQR Academy. Smith with a nice line around the outside. Can he hold off his teammate?
And Alex Smolensky's in the mix there as well as we come across the line, trying to forge a way through. Bit of contact with Bunn.
Smolensky's hit other cars at this corner before. Doesn't do it this time though. This is a new Alex Smolensky. It's a better version of the Bulgarian driver. And what's going on there?
Yeah, he got a little tag as he tried to get back into line. I see some smoke ahead as well, so it's getting a little bit more feisty up front somewhere.
And it's just something to do with Sutton, I think, with possibly a Rushworth.
The gap is down to 1.8 as well. Chepelevsky's taken 6/10 out of Russell Laidler on that last lap.
And we got to the line where we're starting lap 13. See what the lap times are like. 52.4, 51.8. We'll see what they're like when they come to the line now. The gap's got visibly shorter in the last lap or so. Laidler comes across, does a 52.5. Stelian Chepelevsky 51.8. So another 3/4 of a second being taken out there.
Yeah,
into the first corner with 2x2. Sorry, Pete Newman trying to get past.
Oh, Newman and who? So is that Baker again? Is that Baker trying to get through on? Oh, it's Newman trying to get through on Stevens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So close there. Wright holding on is the boss there. Whatever saying that is. Just trying to hold off Kit Stevens. The stopper in the bottle. That's it.
That's it.
Lap 13 then. We've got, including the one we're on, we've got about 5 laps to go.
Smith and Smolensky side by side. And Smith around the outside. Trying to keep that position from the Sim Racer magazine driver.
In the background.
And yeah, and he has done that, Smith. So he's used that momentum well. Ross Balfour now getting in the act. And Wojciech Svidovic, we've barely seen him tonight. But he's made his way up into the top 16. And can he get any higher? It'll be up to him to see whether he can do that in the last few laps. So, contact. Smolensky into Smith, into Balfour. And Smolensky almost into the 4-car of Svidovic as well, but he avoids him.
Teammates, of course, at Sim Racer. And Smolensky just behind him.
It was definitely late breaking move by Smolensky, not very well judged, I'll be honest.
Pete Newman
Baker
and Hall, I think it is, side by side at the
and
moment.
Hall, yeah.
No, that's Baker, sorry.
Baker's gone
Baker
through.
around the outside of the uphill right-hander. That's impressive.
But Hall is just behind Alex there, so.
Bunn having a little look down the inside there as well, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Bunn, it's good to see him getting involved in these scraps at the front of the field as well.
Battle for the lead.
Yeah,
Laidler and Chepel.
Already?
And down the inside goes Cheppy, but Laidler is going to go around the outside, so
nice.
It's not so straightforward, is it?
Nice driving from Laidler. I wonder if he's going to let his teammate go much quicker. In fact, it's an Alfa Tech 1, 2, 3. And it's a race up with CQR 4, 5.
And yeah, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Let's see if Laidler can make it a 4, 5, 6. He has got 2 cars to try and negotiate, though, in the final 3 laps. Which isn't impossible. He's
Baker,
Stevens and Wright.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laidler's in the lead, ahead of Stelian Chepelevsky. And can the Bulgarian get through the Englishman?
2 laps to go, and Laidler puts 2 wheels into the grass. 2 laps to go then, on to lap 16 of 17. Here he comes.
Laidler doesn't actually go defensive. I think he will let Stelian Chepelevsky through. I think that makes sense for the team's championship. They've got to hold these CQR boys behind, I think. Even Shellback, I think, will have to play his part in this one, even though he is fighting for the title, Alex.
Yeah, Shellback almost gets the hardest job of them all to try and fend off the likes of Sutton and Rushworth. They won't have the kind of common courtesy that the others are going to have around him right now with being teammates, they'll shove one up the inside and they won't think twice about it.
Baker's negotiated one of them. He's got past Stevens. Now he's just got Jay Wright to get past to make it a 4.56.
Bunn's having a look on Janowski. That's Janowski getting past Matt Bunn, I think. But Hall and
Sutton's close.
The guy in front, isn't it?
Wide.
So much to look at here. Sutton now trying to get past Shellback as we now onto the final lap of the race.
He's not going to have the line. Shellback's got to be careful he doesn't run into his teammate as well, trying to keep Ash Sutton at bay. Sutton's under pressure from his own teammate, Jamie Rushworth, who I think might just be staying behind. Sutton looking for every which way to try and get through. Shellback, if anybody can keep Ashley Sutton behind, it is Michael Shellback. He is a Kia specialist and also a specialist at the Nordschleife. We saw that.
You know what? His defensive line's absolutely perfect at the minute, and he's not running off wide. And this is normally what you see people do when they're being chased by Sutton. They'll go in a little bit deep and a little bit heavy, and they won't be able to make keep the car stuck on the apex. And
one corner to go. One corner to go for Chepelevsky. He's going to come through, and he's going to take the win at the end here.
And it's a 1-2-3 for Alphalatech. Brilliant job. 4-5. Is it going to be 6 for Race Hub?
Is it going to be Baker in 6th again? No, it's not. I think it's Jay Wright just by a whisker.
200ths, yeah.
Yeah. And Kip Stevens just another 10th behind. And in fact, between 6th and 9th was only covered by 4/10 of a second. So 6th to 10th.
30th. Look at it to 30th.
We've got all these other cars coming across the line
20 seconds down to 30th place.
They've all come across the line. That's how close it was.
Didn't have enough time to get back to look at some of the other ones. It was so quick.
It's not like Spa last year where guys were finishing about a minute and a half behind. You've got no chance here of catching any of the other stuff. Just astonishing racing. Just really, really good, clean racing tonight.
As far as 4th races go,
I'm really proud of
we usually expect all the fireworks and the cars flying through the air, but that was brilliant driving by everyone.
We had fireworks in the form of great racing.
Yeah, as someone's blown an engine.
And as much as every now and again we love a bit of carnage, I think this just beats it all. 4 races, fantastic driving, some great performances. And you know what? I have to apologise to some of the drivers, because there may be some people that we didn't even mention very much tonight, but so much going on that we just couldn't get to everybody. But that's the nature of Lime Rock Park, isn't it? It's not a long lap, and the overtaking chances and the battles, they just come thick and fast at them. Yeah.
And I think the style of the racetrack as well, the fact that it's so quick, the Kia works really well in the quick stuff, of course. And we've had 4 fantastic races. Great job to Alphalatech also. 1, 2, 3. Not often we see that in the BSRTC textbook job from them. Shellback holding off the surge from Race Hub. David Baker just wasn't able to get that result away, 6th place away from Jay Wright. Good job from Engine All Direct there as well, inside the top 10. Another Pro-Am driver there in Jay Wright. Julian Janowski 9th. Kip Stevens redeeming something for Sim Racer here, which has been an awful night for them. And then Simpson Racing represented in the top 10 again in the form of Pete Newman.
Yeah, so Alphalatech actually had 4 cars inside the top 10.
All 4 of them. Janowski was there as well, in 9th.
I don't know if we've ever actually had that before, but if we haven't, then it's still a great job to get 1, 2, 3, and then a 9th for Julian Janowski. Janowski actually started 19th, so that was a good effort from him.
That's when you feel
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it then. Race round 43, sorry, of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship went to Stalin Chepelevsky. Russell Laidler 2nd, his teammate 6/10 of a second behind, and then Shellback in 3rd. Jamie Rushworth 4th, Sutton 5th, both racer with CQR. Jay Wright 6th, just holding off David Baker. In 7th, Kip Stevens 8th, 9th, Julian Janowski. That all 4 Alphalatech cars inside the top 10 there, and then Pete Newman 10th. Michael Hall, Race Hub, in 11th. Wojciech Savidovic 12th, after having to recover really from that race 2 incident. Took 2 races for that to happen. Matt Bunn in 13th, Alex Smolensky 14th, Paul Smith 15th, Jamie Fluke 16th for Apex Racing, Ross Balfour 17th on what has been a catastrophic night for Friction Racing. 18th for George Simmons, 19th Robert Graham, 20th Jack McIntyre, 21st, Lee Berridge. 22nd was Dan Kraft. Jerome Kaiser, 23rd. Dan Hunt, 39th to 24th for Alphalatech. So unfortunately, we didn't have the fifth Alphalatech car represented inside the top 10 there. But still a good achievement anyway. Laura Bonds, 25th after getting that second in race 2. Sorry. Nick McCarron, 26th. Liam Atkins, 27th. Roy Ververke, 28th. Colin Cuniff, 29th. Andrew Whitehead in 30th. Richard Gore, 31st. Nathaniel Simpson, 32nd. Peter Van Gaal, 33rd. Lorne Murray, 34th. Steve Richardson, 35th. Rick Scott, 36th. Stuart Atkinson, 37th. 4 laps down, Simon Field. 4 laps down also, Craig Evans. Mark Johnston, 13 laps down. Nathan Davis, 2 unsuccessive races for him. Unsuccessful races, I should say. 41st. 15 laps down also Cesaro Rizzo. 15 laps down Steve Hefford. And then 16 laps down, most likely due to some problems at the start or in the first 2 laps, Ben Hackerson and Scott Malcolm.
Now, there was a time in the BSR TC when finishing 29.8 seconds down might have got you in the top 10. Stuart Atkinson just did that and finished 37. I mean,
mind-blowingly close.
We've had this all night, and I know we keep banging on about how close the league is, but where else are you going to see on a road course? Let's be honest. From P6 to P27, 9 seconds.
Crazy.
You don't see that really.
I don't even think the NASCAR.
I don't think the
Anti-Free Series can do that.
Yeah, I don't think the Renaults do it. I don't think, I don't even think a lot of the time that the like you say, the Class A NASCARs do that, and the testament to how fantastic this series is, and hopefully, we've had an increased number of people being exposed to the BSRTC tonight, and thank iRacing for that, and hopefully, you never know, hopefully we can get on Facebook again in the future and see if we can broadcast this every week on a Thursday night, also on Facebook. Now,
next week,
Alex, just before we go, your thoughts on this fantastic meeting at Lime Rock?
Yeah, well, just exactly that, really. Fantastic. I know some of the drivers were cursing that they couldn't get by and don't want to come back here again, and the only track that's worse is Lime Rock Park with the chicane. But yeah, we loved it. We absolutely loved it tonight. So 4 great races, thoroughly enjoyable. And I'll look forward to when we come back here as well. The last time we were here, it was great, and this time's been great. So yeah, roll on 2017, and when we return,
Alton Park next week then.
Oh, very much similar. Similar again, really, isn't it?
Well, do you remember Alton Park? We've had championship leaders clashing with each other.
It's been team races there the last few seasons. However, iRacing have given us some more grid spots, and now it's an official Drivers' Championship race.
We're looking forward to that very much. And of course,
the championship was decided here at Alton Park a few seasons ago as well, in dramatic fashion. I think there was a bit of contact, wasn't there?
I think there was. Yeah, there was a collision down the chicane, I believe. But from sunny Connecticut here in the United States, going to be sunny Cheshire in England for next week's action from the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. And we'll see you next time from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, iRacing TV. Hell, I'll start that again. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and around the world on Motors TV. We'll see you then.